Hi, Jeremy, or Modern Vitality. I've seen this question a lot from folks with complex chronic health conditions, and it's, what do I do? I keep catching myself holding my breath all the time, right? I constantly catch myself shallow breathing, right? Breathing up in my chest or even holding my breath. What do I do? Right? Pretty good question. And a lot of the answers that I've seen, especially in some of the forums, they're well-intentioned, right? But it's just a matter of understanding how gasotransmitters work in the body, which means how you can do breath control to affect different systems. Like you can affect your immune system with your breath. Did you know that? You can affect your digestive system with your breath, right? Once you're trained, you can hit anything. It's really pretty cool, and anybody can learn it. This isn't like you have to be in the Himalayas for 40 years in a cave to learn this stuff. We've got it now. We're lucky to be alive in a time where we've got it now to where some of us are starting to understand this. It's fantastic. So when you're looking at this and going, okay, I catch myself holding my breath, I catch myself shallow breathing, what do I do? And a lot of people advise like, well, take a deep breath, stop and take a deep breath and then breathe it all out and this kind of thing. And like basically force yourself to start breathing, which is okay advice sometimes, but I'm going to present in this video an alternate way to look at it, which requires an entire different perspective on how you relate to your body and how you relate to yourself. And spoiler alert, I've noticed that the people who do the best that I work with that are recovering from fibromyalgia, Lyme disease, mold exposure, all these, right? Long haulers, chronic fatigue syndrome, adrenal fatigue, candida, anything autoimmune. There's so many of these, right? The people who recover and do the best, when I reverse engineer and look at like, what are the factors that help them really succeed and get their life back and heal? A lot of it comes down to what they're willing to understand and some of the paradigms they're willing to let go that are getting in the way of them doing what they actually need to do to get better. So in our quest here to understand, what do I do when I catch myself breathing shallow or holding my breath? We're actually going to be looking at some bigger growth opportunities in terms of how to look at your whole system in general and how to relate to your body in a way that gives you more power long term. So let's get started. We need to reframe this immediately. And this is what I mean by taking a bigger view. What do I do when I catch myself holding my breath, when I'm breathing shallow, right? The idea here is that your body is somehow doing something wrong and you've caught it and now you need to correct it and fix it, right? This is the idea. And we need to actually humble ourselves a little bit and get on another side of this, which is I've observed my body doing something I didn't expect. It may or may not be comfortable or pleasant. Right? That's almost kind of besides the point. Like a lot of these symptoms are unpleasant by nature, right? And that unpleasantry is actually there to grab your attention, to get you to pay attention to what's going on, which leads to my next point. Now that you're paying attention, pay attention. Your body's doing something on purpose to try to self-regulate. If you can decode what it's doing, you can help it. So I catch myself holding my breath. Okay, instead of catching your body holding your breath and then punishing it, right? You need to breathe more. And that's the attitude. I'm going to come in with the brain part and just cognitively override all these systems. Instead of that, why is it holding its breath? Has anybody thought to empathize with your body about why it's breathing that way? Why are you breathing more shallowly, right? What's going on there? Pretty interesting now if you put your ear to the ground and kind of listen and what you're going to hear. Because your body's probably not stupid. Your body's not dumb. Your body's very smart. It's very intelligent. It knows what it's doing. Its main job is to keep you alive, right? Not necessarily comfortable, but alive. That's priority number one. So this may be uncomfortable. I'm holding my breath, right? Or any symptom can fit into this. That's what symptoms are. They're uncomfortable, right? As I mentioned, I'm holding my breath. Well, comfort aside, why, right? Instead of stopping everything and going, okay, well, time to take a deep breath then. There, now I'm not holding my breath. I win. I fixed my body, right? Instead of that, we're going to come in with a little more humility. We're going to go, why is my body holding its breath? And the reason why, one reason why your body may be holding its breath is because breath holding actually changes the gasotransmitter balance in your body. Breath holding can actually help increase immune function. Isn't that interesting? Breath holding can actually increase circulation, because we get nitric oxide coming in to do vasodilation and bring blood places, right? Again, nitric oxide comes in for the immune system. It can start to be used to take out pathogens. Isn't that cool? It can drive the right kind of inflammatory response at the right levels. So if you hold your breath and your nitric oxide's going up a little bit, it may be because your body wants more nitric oxide, right? Your body is using itself to create what it needs. It's self-regulating. You just happen to be observing that and going, that's weird, right? My culture says I should be taking deep breaths, not holding my breath, right? Which I've learned. I learned this from yoga, right? Sure. You learned it for yoga for people that don't have complex chronic health conditions, right? You learned it for yoga for like normal people that can handle generic advice without having a big problem. Sure. But in your case, in these kinds of cases, we need to be more specific. So instant reframe. Not what is my body doing wrong? How do I correct it? Instead, what is my body trying to do and how do I help it? How do I give it a little more of what it wants? And what would happen if you laid down, right? I catch myself breathing shallowly. Okay, great. Take a 5-minute break, lay down and breathe shallowly. Try Buteyko breathing, right? Going real slow through your nose. See how that feels. Or, I catch myself holding my breath. Great. Lay down and go hold your breath until you can't. Do it a few times. See how that feels. Right? In this way, you're starting to learn what your body's trying to do. And maybe you can help it along. You may find if you catch yourself breathing shallowly and then you go hold your breath a little bit and then you're done, you go back to breathing normally. Just like my shoulders are high, my shoulders are tense. I got all this tension. And people say, well, oppose that tension, right? Relax, relax it, relax. That's one of the most stressful words you can say to somebody, by the way, is relax. You know, we've had 4 kids, right? At this point, I've been through it. My wife giving birth, you never want to tell a woman in labor to relax, right? Even though that's what they need to do. But if you say that, man, you better have a helmet on or something because they're coming for you, right? You know, don't tell them to relax. Don't tell anybody to relax, let alone yourself. Oh, I'm so tense. I need to relax. I need to relax. Well, that puts some pressure on it. Counterproductive, right? Instead, I'm tense. I'm tense. I'm tense. Why? Right? Well, let's follow that. Let's give it a little more. Let's give it a little more tension. Let's really scrunch it up, right? Take a deep breath there. Hang out until, wow, I went from tense to now my shoulders are getting a little tired. I think I'll let them go. Whew. And what happens? You squeezed out the sponge, right? And now the new blood can get in. You go with it. You follow a cycle. It's the same thing with your breath. This is a general approach to healing. It's a general approach to life, right? But we can apply that to healing. Way better results and a way better self-relationship, right? Self-talk, your connection to your body. A lot of times we're doing some subconscious work, right? We're actually healing these disconnections. We're getting more and more communication happening. And then in turn, as that adds up over time, you'll start to get more and more trust in your intuition and what your body is telling you. This is a skill. It takes a lot of time. If you're struggling with a complex chronic health condition, whether you're holding your breath or not, you don't have to do this alone. We've got a wonderful group. We are off big tech. We have our own private chat group, which means I can say anything I want without being censored or thought policed in any way. So if you want very clear perspectives about your health, this is a great place to have a candid conversation. So we're international. We got folks from all over the planet that are going through the stages in order, healing from complex chronic health conditions. And you can see in real time the results, their wins. We call them in the group. We share our wins. And also you can see when something backslides and there are questions like, hey, I'm getting these symptoms now, or this flared up. How do I handle that? And you can be right there. You can be in the group. It's free, right? You can be looking over my shoulder and going, okay, let's troubleshoot this. Oh, here's how he's doing it. Interesting. I want to learn these things in case I'm ever in that situation too. So you can be in this group. We also have a vault full of interactive videos that'll help you get your senses and your bearings in terms of where you are in the stages and what you ought to be looking at next in terms of what might be a good move for you. What kinds of therapies should you consider? What should you try? What have you tried? Why didn't it work? Does that make sense now? We clear up a lot of these things within our vault. It's a transformative experience. So again, free to join. You can join as a guest. And the link is here. If I see your application and it looks really good, like you're going to be a great fit for our group, I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. It may take me a month or two. We keep a small group. It's cozy, but that also means it tends to fill up and everybody's getting their fair opportunity to be a guest. So I take it first come, first serve, but it might take a month or two. In the meantime, you may consider liking this video, subscribing to this channel, or interacting in some way to tell the algorithm that this kind of content and material is important for you so it can show you more things to help you heal instead of just random stuff on your scroll feed, right? So I hope this information helps you. And if you feel the need to take a deep breath, take a deep breath. If you feel the need to hold your breath, hey, you might try that too, right? Your body's smart. It knows what it's doing. It's trying to protect you. Let's get you feeling better. Cheers.